write a bio about Zane Lamprey and his stand-up career. That's what I said. Okay, and this is what it spit out verbatim, and there's nothing incorrect in this. Okay. Zane Lamprey, a multifaceted entertainer, has charmed audiences worldwide with his infectious humor and insatiable curiosity for different cultures. Born on April 2nd, 1972 in Syracuse, I don't know why that's relevant, Zane carved out a unique niche in the entertainment industry, seamlessly blending his comedy with travel and spirits. Lamprey's journey into the world of entertainment began to gain prominence through his involvement in several television shows, notably among them is Three Sheets, a travelogue series where Zane explored the world's drinking customs and traditions. It's almost done. This venture showcased his ability to infuse humor into his travels, endearing him to viewers who appreciated both his comedic wit and genuine interest in diverse libations. Says nothing about me over drinking. That was all you. While stand-up comedy isn't the centerpiece of Zane Lamprey's career, his live performances reflects his engaging stage presence and his sharp comedic timing. Lamprey's comedic style often draws from his experiences on the road, encountering peculiar customs and navigating the world of spirits. His ability to weave these anecdotes into a tapestry of laughter showcases a comedic flair that extends beyond the screen. It's like how those words don't exist out there.
But it's kind of beautiful.
It is kind of beautiful.
It is kind of, ladies and gentlemen, Zane Lamprey.
There you go. And I just leave. But like it's I sent it to one of my buddies who's an actor, and I was like, look at this. He's like, are you serious? You didn't edit that at all? And I'm like, no.
Now, was this the free version or the paid version of ChatGPT?
This is the free version.
See, that's amazing. What would the paid version have told you?
It couldn't be better. Here's the last paragraph. Zane Lamprey's career is a testament to his versatility as an entertainer. Whether he's sharing a drink with locals in a far-flung corner of the world or gracing the stage with laughter-inducing tales, Lamprey continues to leave an indelible mark on the world of entertainment. His unique blend of humor, travel, and exploration makes him a beloved figure among those who appreciate the lighter side of life's adventures. I was like, that is good.
That is
And
strong.
by the way, and so like, we talked about this before. I have an apparel brand, and our flagship is the Adventure hoodie. And so it literally ended with the word adventure. Like, is that intentional?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that shows that it's clearly observing you day to day and really just taking in.
I have a friend who's a writer. He writes for the top magazines, and he just got asked to write a whiskey magazine, write the whole magazine. And they offered him some money. It's a good money. And he even told them, he said, look, I'm going to have ChatGPT write these articles. I'll go through and make sure that they work.
Wow.
Yeah. But I'm going to have ChatGPT, as long as you know that that's what I'm going to do. But if it can, how does it even,
Well, then it's gotten better, because some people at first was saying that, so it's evolving clearly
at first
over
it
time.
was confusing me with other people, and it had all the dates wrong. Now, and I didn't go in and say, this is wrong, fix this. I just went away. I don't use ChatGPT, but now I went back to do it.
Cool.
I did it as a joke.
Yeah.
I want to see what it did. How much did it get wrong? And I was like,
and it wrote it beautifully.
And that's the thing. I've written my bios, right? So I've written bios for myself, and it's difficult for me to say, harder. He drinks this and then he drinks this. You have to come up with different words for drinking and travels the globe, far-flung corners of the world. What the hell is that? I've never even thought of that.
It's hard to write your own bio, though.
It's
you're like, am I talking about myself while writing?
I thought I nailed it, but thank you, computer. I have no idea.
I tried it. It just came back with idiot, so
nailed it.
Alcoholic.
What an idiot!
Yeah. Please don't make me write about him.
I know nothing.
He's
That'd be funny. Okay, I want to jump into your how did you start in comedy and origin story?
Can I first understand how you guys are connected?
Oh, you want? Oh, yeah. God, everybody wants. So, basically, we met at an open mic. Basically, yeah.
We were.
How long ago?
A couple years ago.
In Bakersfield, Fresno,
No, it
Modesto.
it was in L.A. It was in.
No, it was to be honest, it was in Tijuana.
Okay.
We crossed the border. We were trying to get some stage time.
No. We met.
So where was it?
It was the Hollywood comedy. The Hollywood comedy.
The Hollywood comedy.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
and how many years ago was that?
A couple years ago.
Cool.
It was 2 years ago.
Yeah. Time flies.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we were
I went to Baltimore to meet your family for a show that we were doing out there, and so I got close with your mom. Was amazing.
She loves my mom. My mom is the epitome of a neurotic Jewish mother, but amazing at the same time.
And you guys aren't together?
No, he's married.
Calm down. Don't say it like that.
He's married.
Well, I didn't know that. Now I understand why you would say it like that.
I know.
She's like this. Ew. No,
he's married.
Yes, that's right.
Like,
you did mention. Yeah. You did mention having an 8-month-old.
I do.
Got it.
I do. Yeah.
Our biracial.
You have a different sort of tiredness. She's got like a hangover tiredness happening. Yours is like a baby. Yours is like a real. Hers is self-induced.
No. This is full sleep deprivation.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that. He gets no sleep, and I'm always tired just because I'm partying.
By choice. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. But I just wanted to state that my brother and I would watch Three Sheets in our teenage years, and
making me feel old.
No. Yeah. I'm not, I'm not that much behind you, but I had some education.
You just heard my bio. I was born in 1972. What year were you born?
83.
Oh, okay. That's not so bad.
Not so bad. Yeah. This was after the facelift.
You just look older.
Yeah, I do. This is called having a kid. I'm 65. Yeah, but no, I mean, Three Sheets was awesome because, when you don't have a lot of education on alcohol and you're trying to learn a couple things and you want to travel the world at the same time and, find cool places to go, that was an amazing show because, you learned about education and you learned about alcohol at the same time. And for two brothers that were sitting there had nothing else to do, it was a great bonding experience for us. We were like, hey, let's put on Three Sheets or the Food Network. You know what I mean? So, Three Sheets. So, it was a lot of fun. So, thanks for being a good part of our childhood.
I appreciate it. I think the Baltimore accent is probably one of the most difficult ones to copy.
Oh, it's tough, man.
Can you say the name of the city?
Baltimore.
It's Baltimore. It's Baltimore.
People go Baltimore,
Baltimore.
The thing with Baltimore accent, it's our O's.
Yeah.
So people used to say, "Are you British?"
You've known him for 3 years. Can you do it?
I honestly don't even hear his accent.
Come down the ocean, hon. You know what I mean?
It's like
Orioles, the Ravens, the Orioles, yeah. But on my first day with my wife, she's like, "Where the hell are you from?"
What's wrong with the way you speak?
People have said to me, "Are you a Kiwi?" I'm like, "Kiwi, yeah, I'm from Baltimore."
By the way, I get that more often than you would think. I get it probably once a month when I'm meeting someone who doesn't know who I am. They say, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "New York." And they said, "Well, but what country before that?" I'm like, Syracuse. I don't know. I have something. Maybe it's an air about me, right? It's a worldly.
It's a worldly thing.
You look, and you have
Syracuse,
a more your look.
Be careful. End it nicely. End it nicely. Don't say distinguished. That means old. That's like a realtor saying, "I got this cozy little." I don't want it. You're saying small.
Oh yeah. They make it sound real nice.
Saying you look wise as shit.
Okay. Okay. Won't say that. You have a European feel, I guess. It's a laid back, more of a I don't give a fuck what people think, but I just. Okay.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well,
you drinking?
No. You know what? It's funny. I've messed with that. I did my show. I did a show. So I'm traveling around doing shows at breweries. Tonight is show number 330 since COVID. So since 2021.
That's awesome.
That's
and then I got 5 nights in a row heading down to San Diego, whatever. And I'm always on the road, whatever. And what's the point?
I was laughing hard because.
No, I got it. I remember. And so, thank you. So I got asked to.
There's a huge spider.
I saw it. We can't kill it though.
In some countries, that's food.
It's a wolf. You just leave it.
What spiders are cool.
I promise you, I'm an actual
Where is it?
insect. It's on the couch. It's gone.
Oh, nice.
I'm an insect expert. I'm not even saying that as a joke.
You can say, okay.
So he's good. Even if he wasn't, he would go.
I never killed spiders.
Wolf spiders are they're pretty chill.
Did you see? I'm going to show you something, and you tell me how much you like spiders. So the reason as I bring this up was that I got asked to do my stand up at a weed company.
Oh, that's amazing.
Up in near Santa Cruz. And so I was like, all right, and it was good money. It was a 250 person crowd, and it was outdoors, which I hate for comedy. It's horrible. But I started working into my set. I started working in weed stories, right? I put them in the middle of so I do an hour. I start putting them in the middle to kind of work them out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Never really with the intention of them being there. And then I actually took all those pieces and then put them together in 45 minutes, which is all about like weed, and my
Right.
my bad relationship with weed. I'm so bad at it. Do you guys ever?
I mean, I smoke.
Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like getting? Were you getting high while you're doing your set?
I've never been in life-threatening situations, in conjunction with me being high, and I don't know if they're in relation to me being high. I was in the Havasu Pai Indian Reservation, which is near the Grand Canyon. You've been there?
Yeah.
Like Havasu Falls and Mooney Falls.
Yeah.
So I was there. We went and swam in the falls.
Yeah, you
which
can
is
camp out there. Yeah.
Camped across the river, and then it started to rain. So we all took gummies and went into our tents. And there was a flash flood. I came out because water started going under my tent. I'm like, this is weird.
Because you can tent right by the
yes.
Yeah.
But I was gummy high. Like
Right.
I was bad high.
But you're feeling warm and fuzzy at the same time.
No, I'm feeling
it
scared.
changes.
Oh,
and
that
paranoid.
part kicked in.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's. Sorry, I've never had a positive edible experience. And
People say that,
I come out, and there's what's called a debris flow. It's the beginning of a flash flood. It's where all the sticks and like logs and stuff are coming down this river. And
Insane.
there's probably about 100 tents. I'm on the far side. I had to cross the river up to my knees to get over there. Everyone else is on the other side, and I'm screaming flash flood, thinking, is it really a flash flood, or am I like paranoid? But it was real.
Right.
We got trapped on one side. Everyone else got evacuated. We got helicoptered out.
Nuts.
I'm high the whole time.
That's crazy.
And it was like, is this because I'm high? And then I took another one, and it was an earthquake, and I was just like, why?
I was
Why am I
going to
doing weird
ask you,
stuff?
does like when you're high or like on any does the story change? Like in your something else could be going on, but you're aware of it. Like, do you get what I'm like? It's
I just always feel like I'm too high. I'm the highest person in the room. Something is wrong with me.
not.
Like.
Well, here's the question: are you taking indica or are you taking a sativa gummy? Because
So I'm gonna get okay. So I'm actually in the company that I did my my stand up for. I know the people there, and I like toured their lab, and I've gone through all their like experiences and stuff like that. The indica sativa thing at this point, the head lab guy has told me that everything's kind of a hybrid at this point.
I knew that.
It's not there's not
Yeah.
like a true indica and a true.
So it's placebo.
Some people are going to disagree with that. Whatever. I'm talking to a guy in a lab coat with a doctor in front of his name. So I'm like, I'm going to trust what you're saying.
was it Dr. Fauci?
It was Dr. Fauci. Yes. So maybe you shouldn't take it verbatim. Anyway, so no, I think I took the sativa, right? I think I took the fun one, whatever. I'm gonna show you this really quick.
Like a
This
placebo
video.
effect. Where?
Tarantula trying to cross the road. What would you do if you saw?
Why is it not? Okay, what do you guys got going on Wi-Fi in here? If it doesn't want to play, it doesn't want to play. But it was it's a tarantula. I got no signal. Here we go.
Cross the road. What would you do if you saw a tarantula crossing the road? Save it.
Yeah.
Would you do that?
Oh, I probably would get like a jacket or shirt. I wouldn't put my hand.
I
down
did that
there.
once.
Yeah.
So people don't realize that. Like
They're nice.
Have you ever seen one around here?
No.
So they're here.
I have, yeah.
yeah.
not saying no.
And so I was coming back from Sequoia, and I was driving on the road, and we went over one. Like I didn't hit it. Then I pulled over, and I got like a shirt to like grab it in a shirt and whatever. And then I was just like, was I being a pussy? Like, should I have touched it? And when I put it down, I kind of flipped it upside down, and I could see like its teeth and all that kind of stuff. And then I just kind of looked it up, and I was like, if that ever happens again, I'm just gonna go in with full confidence. I'm just gonna pick it up. And I did this
It can
time.
bite you though.
No,
Not really.
Not really?
No,
Not really.
No.
If it does, it's just a little sting, but they're not
poisonous.
aggressive.
And
They're
not-
pretty chill.
No. Yeah,
they're
they're
pretty chill. I remember I was at the dog park and a tarantula walked in the dog park.
Just
and-
walked in,
Hey,
yeah.
doing saying what's up?
They
What
do
is he
that.
talking about? like in the door?
Yeah, just
like through the gate?
Yeah, he rang the
visual.
doorbell. He rang the doorbell. He came in. He said, "Hey, it's Mr. Tarantula." But everybody started freaking out. Oh my God, there's a tarantula at the dog park.
Yeah.
This lady just says, "What the fuck are you guys talking?"
Yeah.
She picks it up with her hand.
Yeah.
Jeez.
She holds it. She pets it.
Yeah.
Like it's a dog.
She crazy.
That's a little crazy. Now that I know you can do that.
She's like, I said, nice little tarantula. And she just puts it outside very gently. And everybody was like, what the fuck just happened? It's a tarantula. But
Yeah.
she had confidence and picking up the
Well, they
tarantula.
can sense, most animals, insects can sense fear. It's an interesting, like, they can sense that coming from you.
I went to the Audubon, so I'm doing these little videos now, adding to what I'm doing. So I don't know if you've seen, clearly you don't follow me on social media. Maybe you'll start. Like, I do these, what I'm calling epic travel videos. So, like, I went to Bend, Oregon, and there's the last remaining Blockbuster on the planet is in Bend.
You found it!
It's the Airbnb, right? You can stay there?
You can. It's really more of like a store.
Okay.
I thought,
it's
there's one that's an extra
Blockbuster.
store. Yeah.
You can rent it out and stay there.
Okay.
Yes, yeah. It's not really an Airbnb. I don't even know where the bed would go. Like, it is a bona fide actual Blockbuster. And so I went in there and I was like, last year, and I made like a story about it, and then this year I'm doing like, I'm shooting it, I'm editing it. It like takes me hours to do it.
Yeah.
And so I did one on the last remaining Blockbuster, and I think it's got like 7 million views. I don't know, something like that.
No,
and then
small amount.
Small amount.
Yeah.
And then I went to Waco, Texas, this place you can go swimming with otters, and I did that, and that's got like
That's awesome.
12 million.
Oh,
whatever.
that's fun.
So now I'm doing these kinds of things.
Yeah.
So the tarantula wasn't a planned one. But
it's cool that you got it.
Yeah. It just kind of
so
made it
strong.
Yeah.
Like, ooh.
Anything I can do to look cool.
Yeah. Look at him.
Anything to get back to that place where my wife thinks that I'm cool. Because now she's seen the wizard behind the curtain. She knows I'm an idiot, you know what I mean?
Got to keep that status.
So is that like extending beyond your comedy to show other sides of Zane?
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen you in your hosting.
You know, it's kind of a more like a heady conversation, and like I remember one time someone was like, "Oh man, you drink all the time, whatever," and I was like, "No, I mean honestly, it's kind of when I was working and whatever." And my wife goes, "You can't do that. You got to let people get excited, you know, like, because for me, I drink when I'm working. I work a lot. I'm a workaholic. You know what I mean? Like but I'm not like last night I wasn't sitting around sipping whiskey, like, you know,
Okay,
like,
right.
It's not recreational. It's just like
it's something I do to enhance a situation. If someone says like, "Oh, do you want a tour of my distillery?" I was like, "Oh, or you can cut off my finger. I do not need another tour of a distillery or a brewery. I get it. It's a bunch of tanks and barrels, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you want to sit down with me and have a drink and let's talk about something else, like that's fun."
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily. I'm not geeking out about like I've owned a spirits brand. I'm not geeking out about like the.
I remember it was Monkey Rum, right?
Monkey Rum, yeah.
I was gonna say that's kind of your brand though, like so.
Yeah. Well, and that's so. I guess. Thank you for tying that back about the reels, because what I realized was I was trying for years to like capture the lightning in the bottle about the drinking. Like, should I do drinking? Should I write a book about like a spirits book? Should I do this? Should I make videos about going to different breweries and all this kind of stuff? And what I realized is that it wasn't really, if the magic was anything, it wasn't the subject that I was covering, it was the way that I was covering it.
Yeah.
It's my genuine interest in something. It's my genuine interest in people and experiences. Like when I go into Blockbuster, I ask like the 5 main questions that you would ask when you were there, and I put it into the video, and it's great.
Right.
So that's more. I'm realizing that I'm more of like the. Let's go explore. Let's go have
You're
fun
curious,
kind of a guy.
yeah.
How did ChatGPT say it?
Adventurous.
People who want to,
It was very elaborate.
Yeah, the lighter side of life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how are you incorporating that material into your shows right now?
So the first year, what I did my stand-up, so 2021, I got an hour, started out with an hour, I tightened the shit out of it, and then at the end I made a special, which is on Amazon Prime. Then in 2022, I did the same thing, and then at the end made a special that we shot that's coming out on Amazon Prime, like in the beginning of the year.
Nice.
And then this April, I'm shooting my third special. Whatever. And so the first special was like all these stories from 3 Sheets. They're like 10 to 15 years old. And I don't want to be like the guy who's like, when I was in band camp, like I don't want to be like, I don't want to always be the 3 Sheets guy in terms of me being a guy that used to do something. I want to be known as a guy who's doing something. But I had to lay those stories down. So I made that special, and if you watch my Tender Looks special, it's mostly about the days of 3 Sheets. The next special was like a little bit of Three Sheets, more of Drinking Made Easy, which was another show that I did.
Yep.
And then more of like my personal stuff and things that happen on the road. Then my current set is like, 5% Three Sheets, a little bit about these other drinking shows that I did, but more about like my life. It's all drinking related stuff.
Yeah, it's an evolution.
But like this is like
But that's your brand.
It's my brand, but it's also like it is real. Like I do like to go out and drink and have a good time.
Yeah.
I just don't necessarily want to talk about the drinking. Like I will go out with you guys and let's go get some drinks and let's go discover something, or let's celebrate with a drink and let's see where the night goes. But I don't like my brand. I thought was like it was the educational side because that was a part of Three Sheets.
Yeah.
It's more. It was the fun side. Let's be honest. You were watching the show not to learn. You were watching it to be entertained.
Absolutely.
And that's something that I had to kind of figure out about my brand.
Well, I'll be like we were just flipping through the channels one day, right?
Yeah.
That the channel was it Mojo? Was that what was it called back in the day?
Yeah, that's right.
Right. So we were just flipping through the channels. We're like, what is this show?
Yeah.
And then my brother's like, dude, this is pretty fucking awesome.
There were other shows about drinking that had kind of come and gone and were around.
Yeah.
But people weren't having fun.
No.
It was more like, we're going to talk about, these notes of this whiskey and the distillation process. Stop.
It was boring.
Nobody cares. They like the effect of alcohol,
Look,
not the
beer is a yellow to brown liquid in a glass.
Yeah.
Like if the audience can't taste it, I can't sit here and talk about it. You can show me that you make it, like with fucking reindeer. I don't know, whatever, like something interesting. But if you're just sitting there drinking the beer and talking about a beer, it's like, it gets boring really fast.
It does.
Well, people got invested in the personality behind it and stuff, and
exactly.
that's what people showed up for.
So with the reels that I'm doing, like I call them Zane's World. I don't actually call that in the show. I just do them. They're just Zane Lamprey, like my Instagram. But that's growing my following like 500 to 1,000 people per day, and that's great. You know what I mean? So that is like reestablishing my relevance as a brand, like me as in a travel guide. Someone's like, "You got to make another show." I'm like, "I'm doing it. This is it. It's a minute long. Go enjoy it."
Right?
Are you finding a new audience with doing it because that's a different audience that's coming to the socials and stuff?
Yeah, because I didn't want to keep tapping into the people back in the day. I wanted to say like, I didn't want to put up clip. I didn't want to put up clips.
This old man right here.
Yeah, I didn't want to put up. It's like I can't keep putting up clips. Like I was doing it for a while, and Steve McKenna, my best friend, and I talk about him in my first special.
Yeah, I remember.
He came out. He was part of my shows. He's like, bro, it feels like you're talking about like the glory days, like
people
when I
do
played
that
football.
Though. Yeah,
he's like, you got to. He goes, it's like, what are you doing now? And I was like, that's a really good. Like he's the one guy that can kind of tell me like it is.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the last time I put up a 3 Sheets clip.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I've moved on. Like, and so those were getting 15,000 views, 20,000 views, you know what I mean? Like, which is still a decent number.
Yeah.
But when I'm opening up to, when you don't have to have context of like, who is this? What is this show? You just watch it. It's a guy that went to the last remaining Blockbuster. You watch it, you get it. That's it. You know?
Exactly. I mean, entertainers, we have to evolve over time.
Yeah.
Because if we want to have that captivated audience, we've got to do stuff that's going to keep them engaged. Like our attention spans are like 3 seconds, less than like attention span of a goldfish.
I mean, I have become a veritable expert in social media in learning how to grab people's attention in a second. A second,
exactly.
Like I did a video. It's not gonna come up because we're sitting here in
a dead zone.
I'm a dead zone. But here's me swimming with the manatee. I needed to like start it up.
That's so cool.
Face to face with the manatee.
Is that a video? Are you using a camera or?
So there's a GoPro. There was people down there shooting. Yeah.
Okay.
So for that one, I went out and bought a GoPro.
Yeah.
I didn't trust that my phone was gonna like survive that.
I love that you showed the manatee because I will tell you, last year my wife and I, we took a kayak in Florida.
Yeah.
And
through the freshwater springs.
Yes.
Yeah.
Except you actually went to swim with the manatee in there. We tipped in the kayak.
What do you mean you tipped? You fell over?
We completely fell over. We were in full sweatpants.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. I got a knee jerk.
I know what happened.
Yeah. My wife's a lot lighter than me.
Yeah, but you guys both leaned into
something
on the side.
I was like, honey, there's a manatee right there. And the next thing I know, we were just flipped. There's a tour going on in front of us. The woman is snapping photos of us right now. She's like, just for the memories, I got one right here for you.
Oh, at least they're not like, we're recording you or something.
Oh, no. The tour guy was like, she's like, this is part of the tour. She went along with the whole thing. So it was really hilarious. Funny, but we were in full sweatpants. My wife was a trooper about it. But, you know,
you
never forget.
Have other stuff in there, too? Like your keys and bag or anything like that, or no?
Luckily, I left that in the car.
Got it.
Yeah.
You left the keys in the car?
Left the keys.
In Florida? Smart. That's a smart thing to do.
Yeah.
Nothing bad ever happened.
The doors were unlocked, too.
Leave your keys in the car. Oh, my God.
I told you, ChatGPT was like, what an idiot when I asked him.
They really knew.
They knew, yeah. So, but cool.
We did that. We got it. And so me being able to, like, show these companies, be like, look, here's a video I did.
Oh, that's...
And so... I'm not like charging them, but they give me a private tour. So like I had the springs that you're talking about. I did that with a private guide.
Nice.
And went up and did. I stayed in my kayak. It was pretty easy not to fall into it, but like I don't even know how you did that. But like,
and I was probably the first person in 30 years to make that.
How did he manage to tip over the boat?
Yes, my wife said the same thing.
She's really happy. So we did that, and a bunch of other ones that like I'm releasing them as they go. I just finished my Kickstarter for a month. Like I ran that, so my attention was pretty much on that for like my new adventure hoodie. But now I'm back doing that. So
that's awesome. I love that you're talking about the Kickstarter because people. We discussed this earlier. Like people are always trying to figure out ways to get a project going and stuff. How have you like capitalized on your audience and getting those Kickstarters?
I'll tell you. I'll preface it by saying this, and this is. Let's pretend ChatGPT wrote this. I have the first ever crowdfunded TV show in history, which was Chug, which was a show that after Drinking Made Easy, that network was canceled. I put it on Kickstarter. Mm-hmm. We had 8,177 backers. We then made the show, sold it to Nat Geo, and then sold it to Netflix.
Yeah.
And then I also we just got beat, but I had, at the time, the most successful fashion Kickstarter ever. So we raised $1.8 million on Kickstarter.
Oh, wow.
It's still the most successful hoodie ever on Kickstarter. Yeah. And we just did another one, like I said, last month. And so, and I've consulted for companies, and I've gone it, like I've been asked to like start a company to consult it, but then it would be a full-time thing, and I don't have the bandwidth to do it. Like I'm doing all the things I'm talking about, and like, my time goes into my apparel brand and into my comedy and then my reels, and that's like, aside from that, like other stuff. So I've consulted and done about a dozen of them.
Okay.
And I know the secret sauce.
I was about to say, what's the secret sauce?
The secret sauce.
What is the secret thing?
You need, okay, so there's the obvious thing, but maybe it's not always obvious. You need to be solving a problem.
Okay.
So you need to be solving a problem. Try to solve a problem that you can only solve with crowdfunding. With the show Chug, it was that we had a big fan base. This is number two. Is you have to have some people to talk to. You can't just you can't start it and have a following of 0 and launch Kickstarter. You can't do that. You got to build or have the following beforehand. Or at least find out who that following is. If like you're making a saddle for spiders, at least like you should start a social media account where you have all these spider
lovers.
I was
like, that's not.
It's a mouse, right? So you have to have an existing. So it's not like you can just come up with an idea. Unless the idea solves a problem, like our problem was with when we did Chug was that we have a show, everyone wants the show to continue. The network got canceled.
Oh yeah,
so no one was buying it. So then everyone's like, "We love it. We'll be part of it." So people felt like they were part of something, and they were, and they launched it with the adventure hoodie. It's like I'm traveling around. I want a hoodie that like matches my adventures. I want a hoodie that's got great pockets and stuff, but I don't want it to look like weird.
Yeah,
right.
Like a photographer's vest.
Yeah,
exactly.
And so I built one for myself. And then I was like, if I like this, if this works for me, maybe this is something other people would want. Like I have a beverage pocket, so like there's a neoprene pocket
cool.
here.
Yeah.
It's not fluffy, like it's not like whatever.
Yeah.
But if you can hold a drink and it keeps it cold or warm. Like during the campaign, I walked to Starbucks and bringing it home. I got 2 cups of coffee and 2 like egg sandwiches from Starbucks. And I was like, okay, I got 2 cargo pockets for the egg sandwiches. They'll stay warm in there. And then I put the coffee in the pocket. So now I'm just walking carrying it, and I'm on my phone all the time, right? So I'm just carrying the coffee. And I'm like, I'm actually using it. Not what I thought it'd be used for, but just kind of proving that there's like a need for it.
Functionality.
There's need, but also your targeting has been like so successful. I remember back when we did the Chug premiere, the targeting was great. People had reached out to me. I had a photo booth company back in the day. I was trying to make some extra money in LA. I reached out to Zane. Zane let me use the photo booth at the premiere, but the amount of people that came that night was crazy. I mean, like the vibe I remember.
Yeah, right. So that was for what? That was the Chug. That was
for Chug.
That was for Chug. Yeah, so
it was
that was for the crowd.
Yeah.
So one of the rewards was come to a private party with me.
Okay, you're offering.
And so that's what we rented out a place here and did that.
Yeah, and everybody was like wanted to be a part of it because that was one of the rewards, for contributing.
I'll tell you, nobody knows this, and I don't care if they do know this, but I just raised $493,000 on Kickstarter for the new Adventure hoodie. Awesome. I know what my marketing budget was. Do you want to guess what it was? So $493,000.
Your marketing budget.
And how much did you raise is the question.
$493,000.
Oh, you raised $490,000. Your marketing budget for that.
In order to raise that, how much money did I need to spend?
Ooh. Did you need to spend or what you did spend? What you needed to spend or what you did spend?
What I did spend.
I'm gonna
which is what I needed to spend, right? Like what I spent is what I got.
I would say $30,000.
Okay.
I was gonna say 50.
You take the over on that. $120,000.
Oh wow. Okay.
$120,000. So I needed to make sure that marketing was built into the budget, and Kickstarter. I think because I'd done campaigns, they gave me an interest-free loan in order to do that.
Wow, I didn't even know they did.
No,
I did not know either.
A lot of companies are doing that now.
But I had to use their approved marketing company to do my Facebook, called Jellup, to do my Facebook and marketing. And so I could never tap into that money, but Jellup could. And so when the payout comes for $493,000, keep in mind, it'll be 5% would be taken out for Kickstarter fees.
Okay.
5% for credit card fees.
Right.
And then $120,000, which is Jellup's fee and Kickstarter's fee.
Right.
What was the marketing that they did? Like, did they tell you?
Mostly Facebook ads. That they ran a lot of those, and I could see those and give input on those. Some Google stuff. But mostly Facebook, and then some newsletter stuff. But mostly, 90% of what they spent was on Facebook ads.
Wow, and those get that much traction and brings that.
Some don't work and you kill them off. Some do work and you put money into them, and you're constantly just trying to do A/B testing to see what works.
Wow.
But then, so I just as a brand, that's even me with 156,000 followers.
Yeah.
I still needed to tap into that. I couldn't rely on my followers to fund the whole thing. I needed to go significantly outside of that.
No, for sure. And to a lot of comedians will come on here and they'll talk about side ventures that they have, getting into other projects, because oftentimes people think, oh, you're a comedian on the road, you must be doing well.
Yeah, where are you making that money?
Yeah, where are you making that money?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So it's you've done so many things to pull in that extra passive income coming in over time.
But I'm pretty sure it didn't start off as you trying to just make passive income. It was things that you like to do.
Yeah, and that is also the key, right?
Yeah, right.
To any business, especially a podcast that you're growing or anything, you need to love to do it. You need to love every aspect of it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's because stand up around LA. Let's see, my last gig at the Improv, I made and I know this because they had me fill out the W2.
$15?
$10.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. I was like, honestly, next time, you can't pay me $10 to fill out the paperwork you just had to fill out to get that $10. Right. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go buy one beer with it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But we're all.
And I think the beer was $12. And I'm not even making this up.
Exactly.
I'm glad you said something because everyone else, the other comedians, they don't usually make people, and they gave it to me, and I was like, this is $15, dude.
Yeah.
Just hand me the cash and let me go.
Doing comedy in LA is not going to help you get a down payment on your house. I can tell you that.
You're but you have to love it. So if you love it, you're building your brand.
Yeah.
You're getting good at it. You know, even on the road, like when I did my first tour back in like 2012 or something like that, 2010 maybe. I was doing venues, and then the door splits were just horrible.
Oh.
So now I'm doing my show at breweries. They keep the bar, I keep the door.
Oh,
it's
better. Okay.
There's no
It's great.
There's no comedy club that's going to compete with that.
Yeah.
No, breweries are great, and they want new talent coming in there.
Yeah.
They want vet talent coming in there. They just want to keep people coming back.
What is their business? Their business is selling beer.
Yeah.
Selling beer and then growing their market. So if I go in, especially my show,
you.
which
I
is
was
drinking
like, you're
stories
doing
and
it,
drinkers come in, like you know how much you would spend? You personally?
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And you too, by the way. Yeah. Oh, you guys should come to a show.
yeah, exactly.
I mean, they've even told us we sell 3 to 4 times the amount of normal entertainment that they have.
Right.
And multiple breweries, even on like weekends, have said we made more money today than we've made all year. Not even like on a typical Friday. Like this is our best Friday ever.
Wait, did you pioneer this doing comedy at breweries? Because that's a new.
So the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Now I'm not the first comedian to do a show at a brewery, but I'm definitely the first one to do a national tour. Especially the amount of places that we've done. So we've done tonight in San Clemente. It'll be show number 330, and we've done it'd be show number 330. But a lot of breweries want us to come back every year, and so maybe we've done like 170 different breweries, maybe 150. I don't know. Obviously I could figure out the number, but the other thing too is we've gone back year after year, and what we've learned is we go back and then give them a break for a year. And then, I'll go to Chicago, and then I won't go to Chicago for a year, and people will be like, "Oh, come to Chicago." I'm like, "Yeah, that's right. Build up the desire."
Exactly.
Not like, "Oh shit, Zane's back."
No, but it's true because like I'm from Baltimore. I have a market there. I know if I go do a show in Baltimore, it's going to do very well. But I'm not going to come back and saturate Baltimore because if I do, like we did a show last year. Did great, 2 sold out shows, but I'm not going to go back to Baltimore next week. And
by the way, I did that exact thing that you're talking about in Baltimore, and because I went there, had an awesome show. We sold out, so I added another show.
Yeah, that's.
You know, I did the Ministry of Brewing. Do you know where that is? It's a cathedral. It's a church.
Is that in was it in Hampton? Is that where you were?
Baltimore.
Somewhere.
Baltimore, bro.
Most people just drive right through and head right to DC.
That's what I'm talking about.
It was, they changed a lot of those cathedrals to like office space. What is that?
My brother has an office space, and it's in a cathedral.
No more churches.
I'll go get a beer. I'll go get wine.
No, beer and cathedrals.
Interesting.
So the problem is that the cathedral was designed 100 years ago when you didn't need amplification, and so the way that it was designed was you could go up there and speak with the echo or whatever that like 300 people could hear you.
Yeah.
We went up there and had speakers, and I would go, "Hey everybody, hey everybody." I'm like, "Oh my god, I don't know how I'm gonna get through this show." It was brutal.
Oh man.
Like people in the first 2/3 could hear me. The people in the back, it was like all this kind of weird echoey stuff. I probably would be better. It was like, well, then I would probably ruin my voice. I don't know, like because we filled it. Like I think in a normal church, it's got all the pews and the separation. Yeah. We filled it with like 350 people. So then we went back and did another brewery the next year, and that was great. We added a show, and then I was doing like a dry run of my stand-up show. I'm like, let me go back to like Baltimore and do a few shows around there. And so I did it, and people came. And then it was on the normal tour that summer, and it was kind of like, okay, these ticket numbers aren't going up, they're going down. So like we just kind of learned, you can't oversaturate,
So how are you mapping out like your tour now, East Coast to West Coast?
So I do what we call runs, right? So like we had a call about it this morning. So like I go onto Google Maps and I do it. I go look at I can look at last year, like a Google map. I can see all the pins, and I can have another layer and I show this year and I can see the different routes. Like we went here and here, but we didn't go here. Okay, let's go here. Because I'll tell you something, the biggest shows that I've done are not like San Francisco, Chicago, like it's just outside of those cities. Like
I'm sure they're hungry for comedy, especially.
That's the thing. Like I did Naperville, Illinois, which is a commuter town. It's about 40 minutes outside of Chicago, and nobody goes and does like Naperville. Like not a lot of people, you know?
Yeah.
And so
it's my favorite city, by the way.
Naperville?
Just kidding.
Everyone's. Yeah. Tell me one thing about Naperville. You're like, it's 40 minutes outside Chicago.
Right.
That's a computer city.
And so we did like 330. We sold out. We added another show the next day at 300. I was like, this is amazing. And like, there's a city outside of Modesto called Oakdale. Outside of Modesto. Modesto is outside of, you know what I mean? Like, if you're going outside of outside, and we just did it like 2 weeks ago, 300 tickets. And it's like, and that is a great number for a brewery. It's kind of maxing out, to be honest with you.
It is.
For a space that's not designed to be like a real theater. We're coming up with the configuration. But like, that's, again, we're like, I don't do Chicago. I don't do New York. I won't do San Francisco. Like, you know, I barely do LA. I'm doing LA next week. I'm doing LA for friends. Like, because friends are like, oh, we want to see what you're doing. Come to my show in Venice. That's it. I'm not doing any other shows in LA.
Right. LA's a base.
LA's a base, and there's so much to do. Like, how many times are people asking you to come and see their show? It's like, okay. Like, and then at that point, you become the person that you don't go. So, like, I don't expect people to come to see my shows, like, you know.
Right.
By the way, Anaheim, crush it, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oxnard, crush it. Like, you know, like, even Santa Clarita, but it's just not LA.
Yeah, you have to just go around the city 40 miles away.
Yeah, exactly. where they don't have so much access to entertainment.
Yeah, entertainment, that's the thing. And then comedy, especially because that is a niche that people are really interested in. Do you think doing some of those other things have kept you in the game of stand-up and stuff? Because you hear about people getting burned out, and when you're doing it for... You
know, it's so funny. So this guy, Nick Jerry, is my opener, and he's been my opener for every show. There's been a few shows where he's like done some showcases here, so I've like whatever. But of the 330 shows that I've done, he's been there for probably 315 shows. And we were talking about this the other day because people say this to us all the time. Like, man, you must be getting burnt out. It must be so much. I'm like, it's not. It's not. And that's this. I don't know if this is a secret. I don't know if it's people want to hear. But on the road, like, okay, so where were we? Like last week we did Northern California, right? So we did like Berkeley, and then we went to like what's called San Carlos. It's like near Palo Alto, whatever. And so we do the drive at night, check in our hotel, get to our hotel like midnight, sometimes 2 if it's like a super long drive. Sleep in, wake up, go to the gym, do my work. I don't have a wife nagging me. Sorry, Mel, but let's be honest, that's what we do. Like, I don't have other responsibilities besides myself. And there's a lot of like, it's a new word that people are kind of using, like self-care. Yeah. Like, it's a buzzword, right? I get to do that. I get to go to the gym when I want to go. I get to sleep in. I get to like take care of my work and have my conference calls. I don't have the responsibility of anybody else. And then I get to go and do a show. I don't have to do a show. I never have to do a show. I get to do them.
You have a different way of programming your mind to see your work.
Right.
And that's what I said, a European feel, because that's like a European mentality of when you get up, you get to go and do the thing that you love to do. And
but it comes from also years of trying to figure out the game. Like, I've been in the game, like, I'm doing the same thing that I did when I moved out to LA in 1996, and that is just hustle, hustle. Yeah. And the girl that was my college sweetheart who I moved out here with, she was with me, for 3 years out here, and she's just like, how long are you going to give this? And I was like, this is it. And she's like, okay, well, I'm out. I'm done. Thank you very much. Which is complete. It was the most amicable split I could ever imagine. And I'm like, no, this is it.
Yeah.
So like, and then my wife now, she knows, like, this is all she's ever known is me hustling every single day. I'm pushing that boulder up the mountains. I got several mountains going on right now.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
exactly.
But I enjoy it.
Yeah, and you met your wife in a time where she knew what she was getting into when she met you.
She did.
You know,
she claims that she didn't, but she did. Honey, you did, honey.
See, my wife didn't.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Things have changed.
I remember like on one of our first. She used to love going to comedy shows, and she'd be like, "Oh, you know, I could never date a comic. I could never do it." And then I started doing comedy.
Oh, right.
And now we're married. So
no, when I met my wife, I met her at an event. For a 3 Sheets event. It's when Fine Living Board picked up my show. We had a big bash in New York City, and she was there. And I was like, hi. And then that network went off the air, but I sold Drinking Made Easy to my friend Mark Cuban. He had a TV network.
Never heard of that guy.
Yeah, he's done stuff.
Yeah.
And so we went right into another show. And like, let's be honest,
Look,
especially back then, like when you had a show on the air, even kind of now, it is a commercial for everything else you're doing. My podcast was taken up. I was selling. I couldn't even keep up with my merch sales. You know what I mean? And then when those shows went off the air, I was chasing that. I was chasing the drinking show because I thought that's what the magic was, and I probably spent too long chasing it. Where I should have. And it wasn't like I wasn't doing something that I didn't think I should do. I did what I thought I should be doing. Yeah. And then when I realized, like, no, I go back and do stand-up. You know, because you do stand-up in LA, you don't make money doing it. Like, there has to be a way.
You get bitter. And that's what happens.
Yeah, exactly. And so let me do the stand-up on the road, get my apparel brand and everything like that. So now I have this wonderful balance right now where things are lined up. And I'm enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I wouldn't be doing it.
That's awesome. So, like, where was the critical juncture where you were like, okay, I've done the shows, but now it's time to get on the road and really make this thing and put it into full gear? So,
I kind of came up with a plan in November. Okay, so I did I had my apparel brand, and I needed to grow it. So I did something, it's called an equity crowd fund. It's when people actually invest. So you got like 1,000 investors, whatever. So I was going around the country and going to breweries and meeting people. Like, hey, I'm in town. Come by and ask me questions about my brand, where their brand is going, and I'll also have a beer and I'll tell some stories. And so I did that, and I was like, we would get 50, 75, 100, 150 people, and like I didn't have a PA system, so I'm sitting there like I'm telling stories to 150 people gathered around, and I was like, and then I got better at telling these stories. I'm like, dumbass, you're doing stand-up. Like, just do that. Yeah. And so I was like, duh. So then I started planning. That was like 2018, probably 2019. So then I started planning a tour. Tickets were going to go on sale St. Patrick's Day, so as I remember, March 15th or something like that of 2020. Yeah. And so we had it all lined up, the venues, and then all of a sudden COVID comes. Yeah. And so I had everything invested in that, and then that whole time, we tried to deal with. Yep. And then coming out of COVID, I was like, I'm going to do a tour. I'm going to do regular comedy club and theaters, whatever, and all the theaters. So this would be like January, February of 2021, reaching out to them, and they're like, we don't even know if we're going to open this year because COVID could come back. And every brewery that I talked to was like, please, bring in people, come here, let's do this, whatever. Yeah. So I started. So then it was like, okay, forget the theaters, do the breweries, and then so that's it. So that's kind of the evolution of how everything happened. It's it wasn't like it's all these like happy accidents or getting kicked down and getting back up again and going,
well,
like,
you
okay, how can we do it different?
On the moment, and it just seems like you seized an opportunity, and that was
just I got lucky.
That was smart. But I feel like the hustle is different now. Like, it's probably not the same hustle you were doing.
It feels
it
does?
The same. Oh, really?
It feels the same.
It does.
Yeah. I'm not good at sitting, idly.
Yeah. Yeah.
But now like things are working out. Like, we got this new tour this is like basically like the third year that we're doing it. So I got a good team that's like making that happen. My apparel brand, I got a great team there.
Yeah.
And then with my, I was doing the podcast stuff, and now I'm doing my reels, and I'm like, and I do it. I do all the shooting, I do all the editing, I do all the like whatever, and I know. So I'm lean and mean there. I'm just doing it myself.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm just kind of like. I'm very excited about where I am now and what next year is. And I got another special coming out, and I'm shooting another special. So, because people, it's like, it's funny, entrepreneur or, like TV show hosts and all these things, that's great. But what I really want is I want to be known for the stand-up.
Okay, I was going to ask.
And like, that is what I'm doing. I'm putting most of my time into.
Yeah.
It's just that, like, it's like I'm telling stories. And what am I going to do? Take and put up a 7-minute clip? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not like I do a lot of crowd work, but I'm not like the one joke guy. You can put it up and whatever. So next year you'll see a lot more of my crowd work, because my stand-up should be a good amount of the content that I put up. Otherwise, people see me and go, "Oh, you're just a travel show host."
Exactly.
They don't even realize that I'm doing all these shows.
But now they are, because you're doing tons of brewery tours, and I think it's catching on.
You can't not hear about it.
You cannot hear about that Zane's shows.
Some more of that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll take tequila too while we're at it.
Ooh.
You okay?
Yeah.
You good?
No, like, so what's in the future? Like, what's next?
I mean, I think. How many times distilled is this? Sorry.
You made her snort.
Edit point. I don't know. So, I mean, that's kind of okay. It's kind of it. Like there used to there's always a conversation about someone saying, "Let's bring back 3 Sheets. Let's bring back your drinking show." Okay. And I used to put stock into that. About that, I mean like resources and time and energy and money and whatever. And it's funny. I talk about that in my stand-up. Tonight I'll talk about that because I did a show called Chug, and I talk about that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I got reached out to about this new network called Drink TV to revive the 3 Sheets brand.
Oh wow!
And they had all this money, they had all this huge budget, and they greenlit 6 episodes, went out, shot it, and it came out on September 1st of 2019, and then it went off the air September 12th. They decided they're putting too much money into it. They cut it, and I was like, and it was like I put a year into the creation of that, and I was like, I can't keep doing that. And I also like through my agents, they're like, oh, we got this new network that wants to talk to you about reviving the 3 Sheets brand, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it because, like I don't know what the network was, but let's call it like a Tubi or whatever it is. Like, you guys
Tubi,
ever watch a show on Tubi?
No.
Yeah.
I don't.
I've seen some films and stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I know
that people have you go to watch, or you've gone and watched them.
I've just gone and watched it randomly
really?
because if you have an app, a smart TV, those
right.
apps are just there, so you can just.
But I never would. I always click past it.
It's like if I went and did a show there, I would have to push everyone there. They wouldn't. To some degree they would, but like I don't feel like they would be pushing a lot of their people to my brand. I'd be pushing my brand to them.
Exactly.
I'd have to tell all my people to watch, to like go watch this new series, and I don't want to do that. If it's on like, Amazon, Hulu, Netflix, Peacock, Paramount, like whatever, like that people are going to organically, like networks, OTTs that I have.
Yeah,
that's fine, but I don't want to go, and I just can't do it. I don't have the time.
They pair up with networks, so Tubi like gets that are on other like networks too. So it's like a network pairing, I guess.
Right,
but yeah.
But you have to make sure. Like I need, if I'm going to do it, the amount of money that they could pay me isn't enough for my time.
Well, what platform has given you the most like success, like from a streaming perspective?
Probably.
Like my special on Amazon. I mean, that's like it being there definitely helps.
But do you think that actually did it give you the exposure that you thought it was going to get you?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
Because we've heard that multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, right. So basically, it's like you put it on there, and then they're just like, whatever. If it starts to go, we're going to push it. But it's up to me to do that. And I partnered with another company, like a comedy distribution company, and I did not have a good experience. I'm not going to go back and doing that. So now when I'm doing it this time, I am controlling the marketing. I'm going to go and do like the podcast circuit and stuff like that. Like I'm going to go and promote the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And so that I can click into their algorithm.
Yeah.
And if it starts to do well, then they will push it.
Oh, that's when they push it. So you have to do the groundwork, and then they come in and okay.
Yeah. Right. So that's what we'll do. I have it's right now it's at other places, but I'm just if they're going to put it up and they're not going to promote it, I'll just do it myself.
Yeah. So, like doing a DIY, as we want to call it.
By the way, the answer is Instagram.
Right now,
That's the answer. That's the answer. Like what?
Yeah.
Not TikTok though.
Not for me, not yet.
It's a different audience. That's like
I haven't put a lot. I now I am, but I wasn't putting as much effort into TikTok as I was in Instagram.
Right.
And now with my Instagram growing as fast as it does, like even YouTube, Instagram's growing. It puts butts in seats. Like if I, I said, like I have 156,000. I probably have 157,000 since I've sat down.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because it's growing at that rate.
Exactly.
And that translates into people coming to the show.
Is it growing from the reels, or is it from you constantly posting?
It's growing from the reels, but from me constantly doing the reels.
Right. Yeah.
But you also have the brand behind you as Zane Lamprey coming into that. So
but that's what I went into it with.
Yeah.
Right, like that's my norm. That's the fan base that's been with me since I did the shows.
Right.
Now I need to grow, and I need to be known as a guy who's creating great content and somebody who is doing stand up.
Yeah. So when you first started pushing those reels, how long did it take to see those conversions really starting to kick in? When
I figured out that this is what I was going to do, it was instantaneous. So when I was like, what happened was, I was in New York City, and I had shows around. So I had one in Westchester, I had one in New Jersey, I had one in Long Island. And like, if I'm there, I'm not going to stay in one of those places. I'm staying in Manhattan. So I was like staying in Manhattan as my base, and then going and doing shows. So after every show or every morning before the show, I was in Manhattan, where I love to be there, And so I got in there. It was like midnight. And I think I just got done with the show, and I got back to midnight, got to my hotel. I was like, it's midnight. I'm still on West Coast time. It's 9 p.m. for me, and I'm in Manhattan, and it's the summer, and like it's a lot.
It's beautiful.
You know what I mean? Like I'm going out. So I went out, and I just walk, right? So I just walk around or whatever. And so I'm on my earbuds. I'm talking to my wife, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so jealous." She's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "Right now, I'm walking through Times Square." It's like in Midtown. She's like, "Wait, oh my God, there's a hotel there that has like a cat, like a lobby cat." And she's like, I follow it. It's the Algonquin cat, the Algonquin Hotel. And I was like, and I look, I'm like, I'm a block away. She's like, fuck you. I'm like, no, really. So I went in there, and I was like, is the cat here? They're like, no, it's asleep. And I'm like, look, I have a social media. Can I just get a picture of it? So it was in the back sleeping, and I took a picture.
What's an Algonquin cat?
The Algonquin Hotel has a lobby cat.
Oh, it's a lobby cat.
And they've always.
I thought it was a type of cat.
No, that's a good question.
Yeah. I was like, wow. Is it a rare species?
Yeah, it's Algonquin. And so I just ended up showing my wife, but it was something that I was interested in, and something that my wife was interested in. And then I posted it on my stories, and they're like, "Oh, thank you." And I started talking to them. I go, "You know what? I'm going to come back there because the cat was asleep. Can I come back there and just shoot some video of the cat when it's like awake, and I'll put it together as like a thing?" And they go, "Okay, sure." And so I went back there, and I shot the Algonquin cat, which doesn't sound very nice. I got video of it, like walking around and interacting with hotel guests. And my actual hotel was only 2 blocks away. So I went back like 3 times and got some footage of this cat. Yeah. And then I put it together with music and just edited it as a reel. And it got like millions of views. And I was like, through Facebook and Instagram. And I was like, that's it. This is what I'm doing. I'm not doing cat stuff necessarily, but I'm not doing cat stuff.
But you're being authentic. You're doing, and that's kind of the key. It's stuff that you like, and you're being intentional. And I think those are things that really speak to.
I'm like, who am I? What do I like to do? If you don't jive with what I'm doing, then I'm done trying to cater to you. I don't care about how many times your vodka is distilled,
right?
Or like whatever. And so like I did a reel at Disneyland, because Disneyland has 6 places you can drink. There was a rule. Walt Disney never wanted alcohol to be served there. So now, even though he was an alcoholic, you can walk around Disney. California Adventure is a different story. You can drink everywhere. And so now there's places you can drink in, but you can't walk around with alcohol. And so I did a video of the 6 places you can now drink in Disneyland.
I did see that.
Because that's authentic to me.
Yeah.
And then I ended up at Club 33, which is a very exclusive club, which you can't get into, but I got into it.
Right.
And so
I'll never see it.
Yeah.
And
so you can't get into it, but
no.
I'll bring you.
Yeah. You guys take me, and I'll never see it in my life, but that's okay. Yeah.
So bitter.
So that was it. Once I realized what authenticity meant to me.
Yeah.
Because if you know Bert Kreischer.
Of course.
So Bert is a buddy of mine. Bert is very authentic. He is a partier. He is, he
doesn't wear a shirt on stage.
Doesn't wear a shirt, and he kind of goes all out, and he's always on, and he's always having a good time.
He's got abs now, by the way.
No, he doesn't have abs.
I saw a picture. He lost the gut.
No, that's
is that Photoshop?
It's spray painted.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like literally like a grill they put down there.
So
you really tighten it up.
That's his brand.
But that's the point. Like I'm into my health. I'm into I exercise and whatever it is. And so that's not that funny, right? I remember when Joe Piscopo,
you can make it funny.
You can make it funny. But it's difficult. Like the most funny thing about Carrot Top is not the fact that he's in shape. In fact, that's a little weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a genetically modified carrot.
Exactly. So once I figured out that this is the authentic me, it's been like boom, that's it. It was, and I've been looking for it, and it seems so obvious to people. Like, why were you not doing these before?
It's hard to be hard to figure out how to be authentic, especially when you're putting it out in the world. It's a scary thing to be yourself. People find it very hard to be themselves.
I also am at an age where I don't give a shit.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm just like, I'm just going to be me. If you don't like it, I don't care.
Was there a specific moment in time where you're like, I just don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit.
Who cares? Do it at the same time.
How about right now when you guys ask me that? No.
Zane's like, how the fuck did I get here?
It's the Algonquin cat. It is. It really is. It really is the moment where I was like, fuck it. I think I even said to my wife, fuck it. Fuck trying to please other people.
Yeah.
I'm done trying to figure out what you want me to be.
Yeah.
I hate the old model of going to the network executives and one executive saying no and everyone else being like, we thought it was a good show, and then one executive says no, or you go and do a season. Like I did a season on the Food Network, and the guy was a huge Three Sheets fan, the guy who ran the network, and then it got replaced by this lady who didn't get my sense of humor, and I had a show called Have Fork Will Travel on the Food Network, and that was supposed to be like, and my agent's like, get ready for the fuck you money. That's what she said, my agent. And instead I got fuck you, comma, money. And so and then one person came along and said, not for us. And I was like, I hate that.
Because there's always that one.
I hate that aspect of Hollywood. So now I'm doing it myself. I'm making money myself. I figured out how to make it work. It's arguably, the most difficult thing to crack, but now I'm doing it and I'm enjoying doing it. And my agent, now he's like, man, you must get so tired on the road. He's like, how many years can you do this?
Guess what?
And I was like, what are you talking about? How many years do I get to do this?
Yeah.
What
a blessing.
Yeah, it's a blessing. I'm happy.
And also the audience knows when you're being inauthentic and when you are being authentic. That's probably why they tapped into you. They know, and people think they're stupid, and they're not.
That's right.
Even the social media audience, they know when you're being authentic.
That's right.
Behind a fucking screen, they know.
They will see
they
you.
Know.
Oh, they will see you a mile away.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of knew that, and that's why I was always trying to figure out what I was trying to do. And it's not that they could see the authenticity, but they might not have been able to nail this.
Yeah.
But if they think, people look back, people who follow me on social media 3-4 years ago, they're like, he's not sure where he is right now. He's not sure what he's doing. And I see that in other people. When I started doing my tour, it was just pictures of me in breweries holding up a beer. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What does that do for me? I don't I don't even understand it. You know what I mean? It's so.
I think people who watch you would think, that's just Zane holding a beer. That's like what you do.
Yeah, but like, what
does
does
it
your
add?
feed add to my life?
Right.
Like, what are you doing that, like, I'll give it a like because I feel bad for you. Like, I don't know what you're supposed to be saying, or like, oh, that's cool, Zane. I like you, man. Here's your
there's
like.
Zane drinking again.
But now, like, I got a video that's got 2 million likes.
Yeah.
2 million likes.
That's pretty awesome.
It's a video of me putting a cat into a copy machine, and then the copy machine spits out 5 cats. You got to watch it to understand. But like,
Was it a big? What's it called? Cat?
copycat?
No.
It's not the Algonquin cat.
He's like, dude, this was
wife-
not the Algonquin.
My wife and I have an animal rescue. We have a pet rescue.
Yes,
So we
yes,
have
I know.
A
Yeah.
different menagerie in the house, and so we had a litter of like 6 cats that looked all the same. And so I took an old copy machine, like an old printer, and I took the guts out of it. And I got a shot of me putting a cat in the top. It was like open, so I put it in, and then I'm behind there, and I matted it out where there's just cats just coming out of the machine. And so like that video went crazy. I'm like, all right, so I'm shooting one of those tomorrow too.
That's awesome.
You're having fun doing it, and I think that speaks a lot to the growth that you're seeing and everything. And that's
I put in my time. If
You do
I
put in,
can't
yeah.
have my fun now, then
You've done it,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
You've
Then just move.
You've done it, but you've been an inspiration to a lot of people who and a lot of aspiring comics. Like, for me, like watching your career was like, you know what, the hosting thing was really cool, but your comedy also was a big underlying factor for me getting into comedy.
Yeah.
So, you just never know where things are gonna go with you in life. But
I thought he was going to start crying. I was like, oh God, I don't want to see this.
should I cry?
Oh, ChatGPT,
Just-
write a good closer.
Just a little tear come down.
It's like,
Just a little dribble.
Add in post.
Yeah, add a post. Just from a DIY though perspective, like who do you take with you on the road?
So I am late to pick up Nick Jerry, who's my opener. He lives a mile from here, so we're good. And so he comes and he opens, and he also like handles the we call it advancing.
how did that happen, y'all two pairing up like that?
I mean, it's not what you'd expect. But I like this. I like the story. So what happened was, I was going on the road, and I needed a merch guy, somebody to sell T-shirts.
Oh.
And so I had some other people in my organization, like, just kind of, can you guys just find some people and then like let me do the final interview? So they like vetted 2 guys, and both these guys had beards. I think because I saw on their social media or whatever it is, but one guy had like a tie loosened, and which means I'm a comic, right? Like it's a Rodney Dangerfield, like I get no respect, whatever. So I'm on the phone with Nick, and I'm looking at the picture of him with the tie, and whatever, and I was like, you do stand up? He's like, well, I'm a student of stand up. I love stand up. I've done improv and da, but I would love to do. I go, what do you think about if you come out and be my merch guy? You do 5 minutes of stand up.
Oh wow!
And I said, even if you start off and it's not great, well, if you're game to take input every day, I promise you can, and you'll be great. He's like, all right, we'll do it.
That's
so
awesome.
I hired him.
Wow.
Meanwhile, I had the wrong guy.
He was the wrong guy.
He wasn't the guy.
Oh my God!
He wasn't the comic.
Oh my God!
He had never done stand up comedy before, but he wanted to, and he never really had a reason.
He never did open mic or anything.
Nope.
Just-
Nope.
Wow.
He did like Second City or the improv, like when you go and take those classes and stuff like that. So he'd been on stages before, but never done stand up. And so he came to my house and worked on some stuff, and day one, which was LA Ale Works, June 2nd, 2021, he went up and did it. My wife and I are going like, he's got some confidence. Like, I know he's got some swagger happening. And so that was day one, and now he's phenomenal.
Oh.
He's phenomenal.
And the other guy's in therapy.
And the other guy
is in therapy now at this point.
Yeah, I don't even know his name. He doesn't even know that he's the other guy in this conversation. If he hears it.
This guy is nuts.
I have a picture of me with the loosened tie on my profile. Yeah, his name.
Say that.
Shit, that could have been me.
It was supposed to be me.
And then our tour manager Trent. So Trent is a tour manager, and he also runs my apparel booth called Pleep, which is my apparel brand.
Pleepless, right?
Yeah. Well, we shorten it.
You shortened to Pleep now.
It's Pleep,
Yeah. Got it.
So there's the 3 of us, and we're out there and lean and mean, and then we get there, we have the whole brewery staff engaged, and like, it's always something different.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm walking into tonight.
Right.
I've never done this brewery
Keeps
before.
it interesting.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's after 3. Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah.
Typically, we have one final question,
Okay.
and it's
You've
usually
had 7.
let's go for number 8. Typically, I do ask like what your favorite ice cream is, but since you're like,
Had last night. I had ice cream last night.
well, what favorite ice cream? Yeah.
I went to Salt and Straw.
Oh, it's the best.
Right by
the
my
best.
house.
Oh yeah.
And I did a sample of all of the the seasonal flavors.
Oh yeah.
And so I think I got like gingerbread, and then I like gingerbread with a raisin, which I wouldn't normally get, but it was really good. And then I got like some sort of salted caramel, something or other.
Did you do a half and
mix
half,
it?
or did you do the
Oh, no one's gonna beat that gingerbread.
And I said to my wife, "You want some ice cream?" She's like, "No." And I'm like, "Why are you chiming in on what I'm ordering? Then I'm going to order my ice cream." She's like, he'll get this, whatever. And then at the end, she ended up eating most of it.
That's what we do.
All right. Well, then question number 8. Then officially
Not
though
9,
is
if that was
number 9. Yeah. What's your current?
Did you say I usually ask people their favorite ice cream, and I answered it, and
I
you
don't
think
know.
that doesn't
No,
count
I
as a
was
question?
going to say I usually do this, but I
was a
really wanted
question.
to.
Yeah.
What's your current drink of choice?
That's what you're getting.
The lightest beer they have. So it's a lager. At one point, everybody was doing these West Coast IPA. They tried to get super dank and super hoppy, and I was just like, "Can I just get there was a brewery that like their beers were so aggressive that they had a case of PBR behind the counter for what they drank. Right. I was like, you guys should probably make a lager. If you guys keep going to PBR, and I will take one of those, please. So I'll just have a lager on stage. Like I'll have a few lagers. That way I can have like 2 or 3.
Yeah.
But then I'll also like mess around and stuff like that. So I'll go like lager, and then I'll go whatever the darkest thing they have. I stay away from the hoppy stuff.
Right on.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it.
There you go.
Zane, thanks so much for come on today, man. We had a great time.
My pleasure. You guys are fun. Thank you.
You got it.